We are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for tuning in to one more broadcast of Minority Business Spotlight. I am your host, Pastor Danielle McCoy, and this broadcast is being brought to you by McCoy Financial Group LLC. And we want to come every Wednesday. We're going to come every Wednesday at 12 noon and spotlight a new entrepreneur in our community, in our world. So it's not just for people in Columbus, Georgia, but we're going to spotlight a new entrepreneur every week. And we're also going to talk about the concept of marketplace ministry. So, how does entrepreneurship and being a Christian, how does that come together to work for us to have the most successful businesses that we can have? And I want to also let you know that this show is put together to not only introduce entrepreneurs, but to also empower, encourage, and educate other entrepreneurs, as well as discuss the importance of marketplace ministry. So as we talk about the different types of businesses, hopefully you all will learn and gather information to see if it's something that you want to do, or to just get a little bit more insight on how to even start your business. So there's just a plethora of things that we will learn and introduce as we continue with this program. So we want to move right along. We don't want to prolong the time. However, I do want to ask everyone who is viewing to do me a favor. Hit that share button, hit that like button. Let someone else know that we are on. And if you share, and we promised this on last week and we didn't get around to it, but if you do share this video, you will be entered into our drawing for a free product, a free item from our boutique. I am coming to you live from the McCoy Financial Group, which houses Tax Pro Columbus and Scarlett Dion Boutique. So we want to make sure that we just gift you something for sharing this video. So as you share the video, my assistant Leanna is going to write your name down so that we can put you in a drawing at the end of the broadcast. So guess what? You're going to get blessed twofold. You're going to get a lot of great information and you're going to get a prize, hopefully at the end, if you're the one who's chosen. Well, we have with us today two wonderful, strong Black men who are in this community in Columbus, Georgia, who are doing absolutely incredible things. And I wanted to bring the two of them together because when I have gotten the opportunity to talk with both of them on separate occasions, what I believe that I garnered from just knowing them and knowing their character is that they're men of integrity. They're family men, they're businessmen, and they're the type of men that say, not only am I going to do business just because it's a lucrative thing, I'm going to do it because it is something that is going to bless those that are around me. So I'm excited to have with us today none other than Mr. Shannon Lee. He's the owner of Financially Free, and Dr. Normani Hardman. He's the founder of Developing Champions. Welcome to Minority Business Spotlight.
Welcome. Thank you for welcoming us here. We're glad to be a part of something that's moving and shifting in both worlds, the kingdom and in the natural. So thanks for allowing us to be a part of this program, which is going to be efficacious for the listeners and the doers.
Well, thank you, Bishop.
Right, and I'll follow that just by saying good afternoon to the listeners out there, and then also we appreciate you for what you're doing, Pastor. This is amazing, and we hope that even what we share today and what's out in the future, that it reaches all the spaces and spots that, including the people that it needs to reach. So it's amazing. It's such a wonderful day to be on this platform. So thank you.
Well, thank you, both of you, for agreeing to do this. And if both of you haven't done it already, then you can figure out how to do it while we're on. If you would go ahead and share it to your pages. However, this will be available for you to share later on. And for those of you that are watching, we have the comment section live and open. And when we get a little bit further in the broadcast, we will read some of your comments. We will put them on the screen. We will see if we can get a few of your questions answered. So make sure you're listening well. And if you have any questions, please do ask the questions. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with this wonderful gentleman that's at the bottom of the screen, none other than Mr. Shannon Lee. Again, he's the owner of Financially Free. And I've got to tell this little bit of a story of how we met, because good morning, Lashandras, or good afternoon, Lashandras. How are you? And Leanna, you can put the comments on as they come up. But we met about a year ago in the credit restoration business. He's one of the vice presidents of the company that our company joined. And I'm the type of person that I sit, I watch, I look around, and I check people out, and I don't even have to talk to them a lot. And one of the things that I did see about this man is that he seemed to be very quiet and working and moving at the same time, making things happen. And when I got a chance to have an opportunity to talk with him, I saw that he was also very knowledgeable. So to just give you a little bit of information about Mr. Shannon Lee, he is a native of Panama City, Florida, retired military with 25 and a half years of service. And what was your rank at retirement?
I was a first sergeant, E8 first sergeant. Yep.
E8 first sergeant. And he's also a Purple Heart recipient. He is also a part of two fraternities, a military fraternity and another national fraternity. I'm going to allow you to tell me the names of them and your positions in them.
Okay. So yes, you said military fraternity. So I'm a part of Kappa Lambda Chi Military Fraternity Incorporated. And in that fraternity, I am currently the international vice president. And then I'm also a part of Divine Nine of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, which we just celebrated 110 years of existence on yesterday. So yeah, that's those two.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And if there are any of the brothers that are out there, please do give a shout out to Mr. Shannon Lee. I did see that it was all over the place. Social media was blue on yesterday.
Yes, sir. Hey, we painted it blue. It's a
You
big
all
deal.
did. And I
Yes.
saw that there was a group at Longhorn that
Yeah.
had them together yesterday. I saw that picture. And what was beautiful for me is seeing so many Black men together in one room. And I know these are positive, educated Black men. So
Right,
thank you
absolutely.
for all that you all do in your fraternity. And then as well, you are also a part of some other civic organizations. Can you let us know a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm also a traveling man. You don't normally just go and say Mason, but I'm a traveling man. I've been doing that for a long time.
Okay.
Hold positions in that as well. But also part of the NAACP. Just if I go back even to as we talk about Phi Beta Sigma fraternity, our motto is culture for service and service for humanity. So that's what it is. It's not about a bunch of this. It's culture for service and then service for humanity. So I stand on that, and that is the reason why I try to serve the way I do.
Okay. And also, now to get into the business part of it, before we talk about your business specifically, but not only are you a business owner, but you have sons that are following in your footsteps of entrepreneurship as well, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So my oldest son, Skylar, who's he's 28, he'll be 29. He is a master barber. He's in Panama City, Florida, and he has a large clientele, large following. And then his brother, which is my second son, who's Shamar Lee, he's 26, but he has a landscaping company. But he's just not a guy that just goes around, because he has about 6 contracts, so he's busy year round. And listen, and that's what it's about, ownership. And again, making sure that we can have something to start these legacies. That's kind of what that's all about: leaving legacies and building legacies and creating legacies.
It is, because that sounds so in alignment with what our slogan is here at the McCoy Financial Group: is creating legacies one small business at a time. And I am waiting for the day that my children are dibbling and dabbling in entrepreneurship now, but I
Right,
can solidly say this one is doing this and this one is doing that. So I
right.
just want to commend you as a father for being that example. Leanna, can you put the comment back on the screen from Donna Johns? She has a shout out
Yeah.
for you,
Hey,
Mr. Shannon Lee. She says,
what's going
press.
on, Donna? Hey, go mom. What's up, Donna?
Hi, Donna. And don't forget to come visit us and get your purse now. But we also want to go ahead and jump right into your business endeavors. Right now, you have two things going on that we talked about, probably some more, but two key points that you wanted to hit. And this is, of course, Financially Free LLC, and your flagship product with that is credit restoration. And
Yes.
then you are also the owner of 6 Airbnbs in
Yes.
Panama City, Florida. So I know
Yes.
that there are so many people out here. Hi, Starretha. How are you? Beautiful. I know that there are so many people out here. The Airbnb is a hot thing. So we're going to leave that for last. But Airbnb is the hot thing out here. So we definitely want to take a good dig into that. But we'll start with Financially Free LLC. What does that include?
Absolutely. So number one, you stated our flagship product is credit restoration, but on top of that, we help people not only build their personal credit, we also help them when it comes to all things financial budgeting, creating a plan to not only correct your credit, restore your credit, but also prevent yourself from getting back into those same situations again. But we also do, we help people build business credit, which is a big thing right now. And we also provide business funding or help you get into business funding as well. So those are the main things because credit, we already know money, everybody talks about it all the time. Money is power, so they say, but credit is key. And I think you and I both know that. So money is being
Mhm.
power, but credit is the key. It opens the doors to so many other things. When you have good credit, then things can be a little bit easier for you. So that's basically what we do. We have a system that goes in place to make sure those things happen.
Okay. And how easy is it for someone to connect with you? And if they're on the path where they want their credit to be better, or they're looking at establishing business credit or getting funding, are you kind of like Ken Nugent, one call, that's all?
One call, that's all. We do everything by appointment. I do have a personal assistant. She'll be in here a little bit later, but also I can get my website and once we go through it, I can put it up on there. But it's www.financialfree.com, and you can go in there, just drop your information inside that, and then once you go there, we'll reach out to you, and then we'll better address the situation. Because some people already have great credit, but they don't understand credit. Some people, they have business or trying to start LLCs and start business, but once you hit the website, put your information inside there. We'll go there and someone will reach out to you within 24 hours, get you on an appointment, and then we'll get you in and out with the information that you need. It's pretty simple. It's pretty
Okay,
simple.
so Leanna, can you put that on the screen? Financiallyfree.com, but financially is spelled FINANCIA, and then his last name, Lee, LEE. So
Yeah.
financiallyfree.com, and Leanna's going to put that on the screen. And if you could just keep that up for just a moment while we're talking. And let's talk about the Airbnb business. I dabbled in that
Right.
a few years back before COVID, but then COVID, it shut us down and we weren't able to get back on. And
Right.
also we didn't have our own property. We were doing an Airbnb using someone else's property.
Right.
So, we were shut down. But you have 6 pieces of property in
Yeah.
Panama City, Florida,
Mhm.
that are yours and that you are getting ready for this upcoming season as Airbnb. Why did you even decide to go into that business?
Well, and I'll try to be brilliant, be brief, and I'll keep it moving. One of the things was right here. I retired in this area because I wanted to be close to home, but I also want to be just like many military vets. I want to be associated to a military base because it has all the things I need. But every time I would go home, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even after almost doing 26 years in the military, when I would go home and I would see, because hotels and stuff, Panama City is a tourist place, and I would see how they would jack up the prices, and me being from there, understanding I don't get anything extra, but I got to pay some extra money just because of the time of the season. And instantly, when I went home about a year ago, I was at home visiting, and I'll speed this up. I went home and I was riding around, and I kept seeing all these properties that were, when Hurricane Michael hit some 5 years ago, people abandoned them and left them. And I knew the area, and I was like, man, what are they doing with these houses? It's been 5 years, no one's done anything with them. So I started doing some background check, and some people was like, hey, listen, what you want to do with them? And that was all it took. There was an opportunity and a chance, and I jumped on it. And instantly I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. We're going to start buying back. Because one thing I'll leave you with this right here, Ms. McCoy, is this. Oftentimes we keep our name in stuff, but we don't put our name on stuff. And that was
Hmm.
something that registered with me. I was saying, I don't want my name in stuff all the time. I want to be able to put my name on some stuff all the time. And it's us, I hope that we really, really, that we preach and teach that. Let's get our name on some stuff. Let's get some ownership, because with that being said, then we can call the shots. So I hope that answers your question. If not, I can continue to go on.
Well, it does, because that's an important thing that I know we're going to discuss later on, is being minority business owners
Yes.
We can't just own the name of the business. We need to own the place that we are in. And Bishop, I know you can talk to that. And I know we got to hurry up and introduce you, because I know there's so much you can say about that. Because even with churches, it's time out from standing in a pulpit that's really not belonging to the church itself, that's a rented pulpit, and let's have some ownership. Yeah, while you're building and growing the ministry, that's fine, but I believe that there comes a point in the time where we need to own something. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you this one question, and we are going to go ahead and bring Dr. Hartman on. You kind of summed it up, but I want to just get a clearer answer. But why come out of retirement after you have served for 25 and a half years? You could have stayed at home, kicked your feet up on the couch right now. Instead of being in your office, you could be at home drinking Kool-Aid, watching TV, or on a golf course playing golf. Why come out of retirement and become a business owner? What was the benefit for you?
Well, I'll try to, sum that up real simple as well. The military is what I had to do based on, where I came from. That's what I had to do. You see what I'm saying? But that wasn't my calling. That was a system. That was a portion of my path to go through, to go ahead, but my serving and helping others and helping bring other people up, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I'm doing that now. So I knew when I retired. And the thing about it is, I'll be honest with you, I would not have retired at 25 and a half years. I got injured and everything because God knew I would have kept going. But he also, and I had some issues and reservation about it at first. Like, God, why would you do that? I'm doing so well. I done made the E9 and all these things, but I'm not well to be able to wear it. But he was like, no, I need you to listen to me. I have something else for you to do. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how I stepped off into what I'm doing now, because he still wanted me to serve, but in a different capacity.
That's real, real good. God wanted you to continue to serve. And again, I mentioned to everyone that's here, this is a faith-based program. And so we have with us someone who is going to even further speak to entrepreneurship and also add some nuggets for the faith-based component in talking about marketplace ministry, because you said something, Shannon, that was really profound. You said there was something else you had to do. God spoke to you and basically let you know that there was more purpose. So there are things that we are called to do in our secular careers, jobs, entrepreneurship, that it's just a part of what we are designed to do. It's our makeup. It was what the creator called for us to do when he created us. And we've got to be aware of that, and not only be aware of it, but we've got to have the character, the integrity, the fortitude, and everything that it takes to make sure that we successfully complete our assignments in the earth realm. So we're bringing on also right now someone that probably needs no introduction when it comes to the church the church world here in Columbus, Georgia, and abroad internationally, but none other than Dr. Norman E. Hardeman. He is the founder of Developing Champions, which we're going to get into in just a moment. And he's also the senior pastor and founder of Mount of Transfiguration Church in Opelika, Alabama. And he is also my bishop in the covering for my ministry, E-Church International. Thank you again, Dr. Hartman, for coming on. Can you just answer this question for me?
Yes.
And then we're going to get into our topic and our discussion for this evening. Because someone asked me the question, not in a malicious way, really in a curious way. They said, I see your flyer. You have Shannon Leon, and I know that he does credit restoration. You're there as a business owner in the tax and boutique and salon industry. But why do you have Dr. Hartman on here? What kind of business does he do? So before we get started, we've got all of your credentials in ministry, but can you let our viewers know that you are a business owner as well?
Yes, ma'am. I'm not a person who gloats. I'm not a person who talks about what I do. I just show what I do, and then when they ask me, then I can explain it. So yes, I am a person who has an entrepreneurship mind, and I'm able to extrapolate the things of God to put into play the things that are going to cause me to be profitable in the decisions that I make. So in that, I do business. I do business perspective from the perspective of heaven and earth. The two are two dimensions, and I must bring the two together, the spiritual, then bring into the natural and make those things work for me and for others.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you actually have many years of experience, not just in corporate business in corporate America, but also personally as an entrepreneur, and are still working in that arena right now. We talk all the time about investments and things of that nature. So you all just don't know. He's not only a wealth of knowledge when it comes to ministry, but he's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to business, saving, budgeting, investing. And I'm not even going to tell all the things that he does because I know he's going to tell you all about it. But he is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to business, saving, budgeting, investing.
I think you're frozen, Danielle.
Okay, we're back. We just had a glitch for a moment. We're back, guys. I'm
Mhm.
waiting to see if we can get Bishop back on.
I mean, I'm here. I mean,
Mhm.
I see you.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
I can see him.
You can see him. Okay, well then it might just be my phone, so I'm gonna keep talking. But also, that's right, Dr. Hartman, your wisdom is unmatched. Great seeing you here, and that's from Star. Hey, Star,
Hello.
beautiful. And Dr. Crystal Pugh, greetings everyone. And then also Shannon Lashandras. I don't want to mess your last name up, but said they've already signed up. So he signed up. They signed up for your program. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So Dr. Hartman, but yes, a definitely Star. I agree with you. His wisdom is unmatched in so many different areas, and so we want to just start by opening this discussion. Both of you having had the backgrounds that you have, being seasoned men in life, I know you've noticed a lot of things with other people in business, other people in ministry, Bishop, where the character of the person is not matching what it is that they want to accomplish. Then they wonder why do things fall apart. So my question today is, what does character have to do with it? I was reading last night as I was studying and preparing some questions, Bishop, from the book of Ecclesiastes in the fifth chapter, and starting around the 10th verse, it says, he who loves money will not be satisfied with money. And I'm reading from the Amplified, nor he who loves abundance with its gain. This too is vanity and emptiness. When good things increase, those who consume them increase. So, what advantage is there to their owners except to see them with their eyes? The sleep of a working man is sweet, whether he eats little or much. But the full stomach greed of the rich, who hungers for even more, will not let him sleep. And initially, when I read it, I said to myself, I said, well, it's Solomon, or we know that Solomon could have written a book, but it's not proven that he written it. Whoever wrote Ecclesiastes,
Mhm.
are they trying to say that we shouldn't seek money or want money? Like, what is the scripture really saying, and what does that have to do with us as entrepreneurs? What should our mindset be about money and gaining wealth?
Okay. Now let's see about wealth. Because you're gaining money and wealth. Let's go to a scripture here. I want to come back to what you just said. Let me
Okay.
just segue here. Can you go to Proverbs chapter 8? Well, no, we're wasting time. Look at Proverbs chapter 11, verse 3. It says something in the A part very important. It says, the integrity of the upright guides them,
Mm-hmm.
but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them.
Hmm.
The integrity or the character of the righteous guides them, but the crookedness of the treacherous destroys them. What it's saying here, there is nothing wrong with money. It is the love of money. Now, let's explain love here. Money is the only word that's used in the same sentence with God in terms of the word diakonos, which means servant.
Okay.
So mammon was made to serve. If you're not careful, you'll serve it.
Hmm.
It is not profitable to have two masters. Either you will love the one and hate the other.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you love money, the word hate there does not mean hate, it means choose, which means that when you after money, money becomes your God. I didn't say you didn't need it.
Mm-hmm.
God knows you need money. But when your love, your insatiable desire is to gain money, that becomes your idol God.
Wow. And I'm glad you brought that point out, because bouncing back to you, Shannon, everybody, their grandmama and their ancestors is doing credit restoration right now. And I believe that before a person even goes into trying to prepare their credit, they've got to look at, first of all, what happened to get you there as far as your mindset and your character. And what is the reason that you really even want to restore your credit? Is it to chase money, or is it to make your life better? So how do you handle it when you encounter people that come to you for credit restoration? Do you just do the job based on, oh, we just gonna try to help them get some money? Or do you look at the full picture?
Well, let me back up a little bit, just to caveat a little bit. Not
Mm-hmm.
that the pastor needs me to come behind him and say anything, but something that I was taught as a young child. My granddaddy, he used to say this to us all the time. He said, "Son, I always want you to remember this right here." And I'm talking to the audience out there. Okay, if you lose money, because we always do it, you lose nothing. Okay, I know it might make you mad. If you lose your health, you lose something. Okay, which means you might put yourself in a situation where you can't get money or you can't provide for your family. But if you lose your character, you lose
Mm-hmm.
everything. Now, with that being said, is character can open doors that money can't. Sometimes you have to rely on your character. It's one thing to be well known. It's many people in Columbus. So I'm answering your question two part. It's many people in Columbus that's well known, but they're not worth knowing.
Mm.
The goal is to be worth knowing, not well known. A lot of people are well known for doing crooked stuff, but a lot of people are known for preaching crooked stuff, for teaching crooked stuff. But worth knowing is something different. This is something that speaks to your character. So, number one, to answer the close of your question is, when you say, how do we go about making sure that it's not just about money and all that? Well, number one, I have to make sure the person understands. First of all, I already have great credit. I'm humble, and I know that's a soft spot. So there's nothing. So I understand, but I've also came from bad credit. So I've been in the journey already. You see what I'm saying? So I'm a living witness, and I came from a family of a lot of people that have bad credit. That's number one. Number two is we have to let folks know, listen, it's okay to tell some people that you can't help them. That's how they know I'm serious, based on what they're talking about. If they're not serious, then I'm not going to be serious, because there's two things I can't get back, and that's word spoken, and that is time. So
Hmm.
that's how I deal with that.
Okay. And that's a great way, I believe, to deal with it. You know, Bishop, when we talk about credit, what does the Bible even say about our use of credit? We're supposed to use it carefully and wisely, because he spoke about having good credit. And I guess it's okay for me to say this, Bishop, because you and I've talked about it as well. You're a man of a high credit status as well. You believe in paying your bills, paying them on time, keeping your obligations. So the mindset of a person who has had poor credit and wants to turn that around, Bishop, where would you say that they need to start in terms of their own self-talk and self-changes?
The first place to start is to find out how you got there,
Okay.
because usually everything has a catalyst. It's a point of reference. If you can't find out where it messed up, you can't go back to fix it, because now everything after that is in error.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't mean that you may not have had a bad fall in life. What did you do with it? So we now must understand that we must be a good steward over everything that we have.
Okay.
Meaning that my little only becomes much when I use my little to become much. Say it again. Your little can become much only
Mm-hmm.
when you take your little and you know you can make it much. Most of us started from a starting point. Not what you have, but what you do with it. I heard this, and and I kind of go with it. 3 categories: poor, middle class, wealthy.
Okay.
Poor people usually go to work to pay bills.
Hmm.
It's cyclical. Work, pay bills. Work, pay bills. So it's a frustrating life because it's a cycle. If I don't break the cycle, I'll never break the cycle of my turmoil, my
Mm-hmm.
disappointment. But every time I see a clock to talk to do whatever, is to pay a bill. Middle class people work to get good credit so they can buy stuff they can't afford.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to tell you, I'm not trying to tell you that credit is not good. You got good credit, bad credit. What I'm trying to say is make sure you are not getting your beacon score up to go out and get more credit on things you can't afford.
That's
Now
good.
that's a little cycle. So the wealthy people, I didn't say rich. Rich people can go on a vacation and not look at their checkbook or look at their phone. Wealthy people go on vacation and they just enjoy themselves. The difference. Now,
Okay.
the Bible does not tell you that you give you the power to get rich. It tells you get the power to get wealth.
The wealth. Mm-hmm.
Wealth is generational. You do not eat your seed. When you die, something should be deposited into the next generation, into their.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we've been taught to eat our seed
Mm.
or to invest it or to investing. It's very important because wealthy people invest. They don't buy. They invest. When I
Wow,
get
you said you said so many good things, Bishop. I'm trying to keep notes so I can ask the next question. So let me put a pin in it right there and
yes,
get back to this process of poor, middle class, and wealthy. And Shannon, I want to ask you this question. So when people come to you, I believe that you are the type of business owner that you're not going to allow them to be stuck in this middle class syndrome of the way of thinking when they come. And in fact, I believe that you would incorporate more of the process of being like the ant. We got to take this one step at a time. And I want to bring this out because a lot of people feel like, and especially for the person who even signed up, when you're coming for a credit repair, if you didn't get there fast, and you're not going to get back on top quickly. So what is really the process that they would have to go through? Is it a 30-day thing? Will they come and drop off $2,500 and you promise them in 30 days I'm going to have your credit on top? What's the process?
Well, again, process is especially. This is. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you still hear me?
Say something else. I believe we can.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? I apologize.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, process is number one. Is you got to listen to the person and you got to ask them. Do you know your credit score? That's number one. Number two, what are you trying to do with your credit, and how long? How long before you try to do that? Most people say, "Hey, I want to buy a house." And I want to buy a house. I want to get a house. It's January now. I want to get a house, and I want to get a house by the summer. Then there's steps that we have to take. We have to jump on top of those, and then I have to talk to them. Then their mindset, I have to say, you have to get in the right frame of mind to do that because it's a process to go through the credit, the credit portion, because you have your Equifax, your TransUnion, Experian. Those folks by law, the 1971 Fair Credit Act, it allows them up to 45 days to respond to anything. I don't care who sent it. So number one is educating the person in mind. You know what I'm saying? That gives them a sense of comfort that there is a process, but it's going to take effort on both parts. We're going to do our part and we're going to stand on it. But I got to make sure that you make a commitment to me to do your part. And a lot of that is just communicating. You should not be out there after you signed up with me, not knowing what's next. You should never leave anybody that's trying to get their credit squared away. Whoever you paying your money to, if you have questions, they should be able to answer them. You understand that? That's the process right there. And then until you feel like you're comfortable, and then you guys are committed to each other, you, he, she, them, and everything, and then you go through the process. And then the times that you tell people that you're going to get back to them, do that so that folks don't have uncertainties about it. And you go through the process, and then we'll get to the promise. That's how it works. It's pretty simple.
And what are some examples of what Bishop just said? People wanting to get their credit done just to get things that they can't afford. What are some examples of someone getting something that they can't afford? I guess in terms of perhaps debt to income ratio, etc. Explain that to us.
Well, and I think we all know this. We have this obsession with things and things that don't really even matter. You
Okay.
understand? You know what I mean? I, again, I understand everybody wants a nice house. I get that. You should want to, but a lot of these other things, I don't know if it's just mindset, Danielle, of things that we didn't have. Now all of a sudden we see an opportunity to be able to get things. And a lot of times we find ourselves getting in blunt force trauma. So I'd say an example of that would be, why would you go through that process of getting your credit fixed just to go out there and buy a bunch of things that mean absolutely nothing? Now, if you're going to go lower your credit because you both invested in some properties, you're going to take some hits. But if you're going to do that, put it into something that you can receive gains off of. That's how I try to advise people. But of course, you're dealing with adults. You know what I'm saying? And last I say is we have to continue having these type of platforms. You know what I'm saying? And then, we often hear in scripture, God has plans for us to prosper, but nobody teaches us how to prosper. We understand the
Mm-hmm.
scripture, but where are we learning that at though? God has to listen. God has plans for prosper. You are absolutely right. He does have plans for prosper, but he also have people like you, myself, the pastor, and other folks. We have to come together like we're doing now, so we can educate the man or the woman, so that they don't become blunt force trauma or repeat offenders of those things. That's one of the things. People don't know where to go to get the help because there's so many people doing it.
Wow, that's a good question, and we're gonna make that a question, Bishop.
Yes. Yes,
What
ma'am.
what is the meaning of God wanting us to prosper? You touched on in a moment, just talking about the difference between rich and wealthy, but the Bible says that it is God who gives us the ability to create wealth. It also even talks about it in Ecclesiastes, where it says basically that wealth is a reward that's given from God. But what is really godly wealth? What is godly prosperity? What does that mean for us? Does that mean that everybody's going to get a big house on the hill and drive a Mercedes Benz? Or what does it mean?
Okay, glad you asked that question. Let me acquiesce a little bit. Um, when a person comes to me and talks to me about regaining status in their wealth or their riches or their money, the first question I ask them is why?
Hmm.
Because if it's to get a house, if it's to get a car, if it's to get something else that you don't have already, you're already going to defeat yourself. Let me
Okay.
take you somewhere, okay? Because we got to understand that our ability to get wealth is for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we see the biblical or will of reason for getting wealth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first we got to remember it's God that give you the Lord that give you the power to get wealth. In Deuteronomy 8:18, that's what it says. It says, "But thou shalt remember." Remember. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of times people don't remember. They get
Okay.
it and they forget.
Yes, sir.
They get it, they forget. They forget how they got there. Now they forget who gave it to them, who the apostle to get out. Let me say this. Remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that give you the power to get wealth, not win it, get it. Wow. That he may establish his covenant, which he swear unto his fathers as it unto this day. If your increase is not to build the kingdom first, you're going to go back into the place where you come from.
Hmm. Whew.
That's Bible. Because most people now don't get what they ask for because their motive is wrong.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. And now I'm not trying to step on any toes here, but let's look at something here. Um, um, let's see here. I can give you exactly what I'm saying. Remember what the Bible says in James 4:3. It says, and I do this probably, I'm going to do it in a very simple version. I'm going to do it in the easy English version, which is easy English. And it says is, even when you ask God, you do not receive anything because you ask for the wrong reason.
Mm.
You just want to use these things to make yourself happy. Let me do this in the easy to read version. See, I got to give you truth.
Okay.
When you ask, you don't receive anything because the reason you ask is wrong. You only want to use it for your own pleasure. God does not give you. What was this? You asked about prosperity. Jeremiah 29:11. And you asked the preacher to come on here, so I'm going to give you word.
Okay.
Now, when you look at Proverbs 29:11. I'm sorry, Proverbs. I'm sorry. When it talks about 29:11, where it talks about here we go, Jeremiah 29:11, that I give you, I know the plans that I think toward you, plan of evil, but not of evil, but to bless you and prosper you, right?
Right.
That word prosper there is not money.
Hmm.
Have a good journey.
Okay.
If I can look it up. Now, when you prosper, let's look at success. God is not responsible for your success at all.
Hmm.
He's not. You are.
Mm-hmm.
It says, do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it both day and night to do all that it says. Then you will make your way prosperous and have good success.
Mm-hmm.
So the prosperity and the good success is because you do not let the book of the law leave you. Everything God created has a law. And when you get away from that law, you're not going to be successful.
Wow. That's good, Bishop. So even in getting back to entrepreneurship
Yes.
and talking about people like myself, people like Mr. Lee, people like yourself, and other business owners that are watching, and especially if we are Christians, but definitely there are just principles across the board that we can learn from and that we can take from the Word of God that basically speaks to what our character needs to be like before we offer a product or a service to anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like with Mr. Shannon said, he takes them through a process. He asks them questions, and he even decides, is this a right fit for my company? Should I even service this person? Because we do have a responsibility. And this is where I want to shift to make sure we have a clear definition of marketplace ministry. But we do have a responsibility as business owners, not to just gather people together for the sake of gathering their money, but for a specific purpose that God has given us to fulfill in the earth realm. Because when we fulfill that purpose, that's when the true prosperity comes. God's prosperity for us, as you said, Bishop, he's not worried about our money. He don't care if we make $1 million or 10. That's up to us. But whatever we do, we are to be prosperous in what it is that he called us to do as far as touching and changing the lives of other people. So give me the definition, if you would, Dr. Hartman, and I have a question for you too, also, Mr. Lee. But give me the definition biblically of what marketplace ministry is. Is it that we're supposed to show up to work every day, Shannon, with a Bible under our arm and read some scriptures to our clients, or is it just how we present what we're doing in business in a godly manner?
That's a very good question. In all we do it as unto the Lord. Everything.
Mm, that's good.
Now, so my mandate in life was never to make me the focus.
That's good.
I am supposed to be a distribution center, not a warehouse. Most people want money and fame to become a warehouse. But we're supposed to be distribution centers. When we distribute, God keeps us distributing. Money is a currency. If the current stops, it becomes dead. Then you got a Dead Sea. Nothing grows in the Dead Sea because nothing comes out. Whenever you become a warehouse, you will get full, but then nothing else can go in because nothing is coming out. We are supposed to cultivate. Look at this now. Cultivate. What do I mean by this? God puts us in the earth, but He puts us in a place and plants us in purpose, which is the fertile soil that grows out of us what God put in us. If you take a tree out of the ground, it's going to die. God puts you in a place where it is inevitable that when you are planted in that place, something's going to grow. And not necessarily going to be you, because you're going to grow, but fruit is going to come off of that marketplace. Okay, you got the left hand of God and the right hand of God. Which is my marketplace ministry.
Wow.
In the church,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bishop.
In the church, it's the apostle.
Okay.
In the marketplace, it's the CEO.
Okay.
Both started the business. In the church, it is the prophet. In the business world, it is the forecaster. Where's the world going? Where's the business going? Where's the next dollar going?
Okay.
In the church, it is the evangelist. In the marketplace, it's the recruiter. In the church, it's the pastor. In the marketplace, it's the trainer. No, I'm sorry, it is the manager. In the church, it is the teacher. In the marketplace, it's the trainer. So, we have limited the fivefold ministry to a building called church. That's why the world is not, when you go to church, when you go to a building, you let your gifts, you do all this, whatever. When you go to church, when you go to work now, all you do is work to make money. No, your gift was given not just for a building, but it was given wherever you go. If you are an apostle in the church, your apostolic anointing must also be shown in the workplace. You don't have to own the business. Watch this. Joseph didn't own Egypt, but he ran it.
He did.
Because of his entrepreneurship, because of his gift. He did not run Egypt only interpreting dreams, but that got him there. What soil are you planted in the divine that causes the earth to recognize your divinity? I'm planted in a place called teaching. Teach people. I get paid for the problem I solve. If you are in McDonald's, you solve a hamburger problem. So don't get mad if you want to make $10 an hour. A brain surgeon, he gets $20,000 maybe for a procedure because he's solving a greater problem. What problem will you made to solve? That's where your wealth comes from. Wealth is not just money, but it's the ability to think, have character, morals, integrity, and discernment. Because when you go into a place, not how much am I going to make here, what am I put here for?
Mm-hmm.
When I find what I'm here for, I begin to make that happen. Now I'm promoted because I'm seeking first the kingdom, not how much I can get.
Wow.
Everything that I have now is because I seek first the kingdom. Then, God, what do you want me to do with it? I don't work for money. My money working for me.
Hmm.
I'm telling you right now,
That
my money is revolving. My money is working.
That's good, Bishop. That's why you can sit up here with us with this Nike sweatshirt on in the middle of the day and just relax and answer questions because your money is working for you.
I ain't gonna prove
Mr. Shannon Lee and guys, we can take this conversation on and on and on, but we only got about 10 minutes left. And the question I wanted to pose to you, and thank you, that was a very good analogy and explanation, Bishop, of marketplace ministry, because sometimes we've gotten it mixed up. You know, we feel like we're supposed to be walking around anointing everybody with oil, laying hands on them
no,
and reading a few scriptures, and that's marketplace ministry.
no.
But it's just us allowing the gifts and talents that God has given us to manifest through us, so that, like you said, we're able to plant fruit. So, Mr. Shannon Lee, when we talk about this and planting fruit and being that kind of person that we are allowing God to work through us and work in purpose and help families, can we talk a little bit about why it is so important to support minority businesses, but also to support minority businesses that you know are led by men like yourself, someone who's a man of character, integrity, who understands your purpose, who wants to really help shape the lives of families rather than making that quick dollar?
Absolutely. Well, number one, my life is a sermon.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, like I say, they tell you you never measure, you only measure man by distance travel. We don't always know where a person came from. You understand what I'm saying? But what I say with all that is, um, in supporting even small businesses, and especially ones like mine and yours and others, is is you want to make sure that we it's not about the money. You should better see that as well. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come to you. I instant when I met you, I never thought about it being about the money and what you offered. Your spirit, what you had about you instantly let me know this is a person that I wouldn't mind, finding out, I'm a little bit more interested in what she's doing. So, and that's part that speaks to your character, and I would hope that mine does as well. So, in supporting small, hoping that when you speak the character of wherever the place you're entering in a small business, that it says inviting, that it says honesty. Now, there's no way to really know unless you go through it. But then again, you know what I'm saying? There's this thing out there again, it's called discernment. Okay. And you see what I'm saying? So you just want to make sure, to the people that listen on this out there, that you support it, saying, listen, I know this person's character, and I do believe that they are who they say they are. You understand what I'm saying? And if not, don't be afraid to ask that person, hey, listen, you said you was going to do something that you didn't do. I mean, we accountability. That's the one thing. That's another thing that we, so even as business people, that we see about other people. Accountability. Do what you say you're going to do. Say what you say and mean what you say, and stand on it. Stand on it and do the right thing. That's about the best way I can sum that up right there. June. So hopefully that answers your question right there. But listen, accountability, it just means so much. We have to stand on principles. Somewhere you got to have some honesty, some great character to go along with that.
Absolutely. And I believe in piggybacking off of what you said, Shannon, is when we get to know the people in the small businesses, that's something that we should treasure, or minority owned businesses, because we're spending, and Bishop, you may want to chime in on this, we're spending money in businesses abroad, jumping online. I ain't gonna say no names, but jumping online, shopping at all these different places. And I'm saying this because I'm in retail, or jumping online, finding somebody to say they did credit restoration, and you don't even know these people. So getting the opportunity to shop with people that are local, in your community gives you the opportunity to get to know them and their value system, to know and understand that they are going to do the best for you. We will be able to touch you hands on and know what your vision is, and to help you carry that out. And you understand that, yes, we're going to make money off of it, but it's not just about the money. It's about helping
Yes.
you. And it also helps to reshape, I believe, Bishop, the infrastructure of our communities, because again, we're spending so much money in companies that aren't giving back to our communities.
Mm.
You jump online and you spend $89.99 plus shipping with the company that doesn't care about the little girl that's down the street, that is being a little promiscuous, and her mom's not at home, and she may end up pregnant before her time, but they're not investing in our communities. But when you invest with people like Mr. Shannon Lee, when you invest with Danielle McCoy, when you invest with Staretha Thomas, and I'm looking at some other business owners on here, Donna Johns, when you invest with some of the people that are in your community, you're also investing in your community. So, gentlemen, thank you all so much for coming on. Like I said, we could go on and on and on and on. And I'm going to allow the both of you to get some last thoughts together. And while you're doing that, we are going to do as promised. If you are watching right now and you have shared the broadcast, and we'll give you just a few moments to share it, because people can come back and watch this a little later on. We do have some gifts. Now, I'm just a giving person. That's how I am. Bishop, you even know that. Every time somebody comes around me, if I've got something to give you, even if it's just a bottle of water, I'm going to give it to you. So we want to make sure that we are being a blessing to those of you that are watching in information and knowledge, and also a little trinket that you can take with you. So if you've shared the broadcast, Leanna's going to put your name in a drawing, and she is going to inbox you. We have 2 gifts that we're giving away out of our boutique here. This beautiful purse. Everything's absolutely brand new. And then I know you ladies love these crossbodies. So we're going to give away a nice crossbody to someone. So check your inbox. We won't give it away on live, but check your inbox. If you just share, you will qualify to win one of these items if you just share the broadcast. And then I also have, what did I do with it? I also have something for my wonderful guest. Before you do your last comments, Mr. Shannon Lee, a 10-inch deluxe studio ring light.
I need it.
Because we believe that you're going to be doing a lot more of these interviews, and it's going to help you get your information, not just to the people that are in our local areas, but so that you can help families all across this nation. And so we definitely want to make sure we'll have this delivered by courier to your office.
Love
and
it.
then for Dr. Hartman,
Yes.
I picked this up. I know that you're a man who loves the word. This is Priscilla Shirer's latest Bible study, The Armor of God.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to make sure that we get this shipped to you as well. We got an address for you, so we'll make sure we get this shipped to you as well. And that's just my way of saying thank you for you all joining in on this broadcast and sharing the information that you have shared. So we'll start our closing comments, starting with you, Mr. Lee. If you would just recap as well while you're giving your closing comments on how we can find you. Leanna, put it up on the screen while he's talking, please. His website is financiallyfree.com. Everything that you want to know about signing up and getting in touch with him is on this website. Please do reach out to him. And now I believe you all know a lot more about him. He's not just the credit guy that you see posting on there, but he's an astute businessman. He's someone that's invested in this community and a part of several different civic organizations. And he's someone who's going to do the job for you right. You won't just call him and he collect your money and you don't see him for 6 months. But he is going to work with you to help you achieve your goals so that your family can become financially free. Shannon?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for this platform. Got to give it back to you and your team for just allowing me these moments. And to the audience out there, thank you guys for chiming in. And we understand it's the middle of the day. But my office is located at 18 9th Street, right here in Columbus, Georgia. I'm in room 303. Again, Shannon L. Lee Sr., financiallyfree.com. Our motto is helping millions help themselves. And that's what it's about. So if I'm helping millions, it's you, that lets you know right at the top, it's not about me. It's about the people. So thank you again. And Pastor, thank you, sir, for even allowing me to get on the platform to talk to and share with this great man right here. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know where you're located. Hopefully you'll drop it out there to us because I want to come see you. I want to come worship, sir. And I think June, you're okay with me asking him that right now. But other than that, I appreciate
Yes.
everything. Thank you so much. I'm humble. Blessings.
Well, thank you so much. And then also for you, Bishop Hartman, and I will let you know, Mr. Shannon Lee, that I hate that I can't make it to Opelika on Sundays. But of course, he broadcasts live, so I'm able to catch some of the nuggets because he is such a great teacher. And we didn't talk about at all. So I want to make sure I drop this to anybody who's watching Developing Champions, because that's a ministry that's totally separate from Mount of Transfiguration. Mount of Transfiguration is the church, but Developing Champions is what I am a part of and what so many other leaders in this nation and abroad are a part of. Tell us a little bit about what you do with Developing Champions. And then again, as Mr. Shannon Lee mentioned, how people can get in touch with you, become a part of Developing Champions, where you are developing not only business leaders, but ministry leaders as well, and how we can find you for Mount of Transfiguration.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. And sir, Mr. Shannon, thank you for coming on and sharing your wisdom, sharing your experiences. And it was a wealth of knowledge. And I can see that God is doing something great in you and through you. And so thank you for lending your wisdom to the world. And well, Developing Champions is one that I've created through the auspices of God to help pastors and bishops and other leaders become greater in the expansion of advancing the kingdom. And so we talk about different things. I keep them abreast of what's going on. Then we make sure we come together and we do something that's going to be efficacious for their learning and their knowledge. And then for as far as ending, I'll say this. Proverbs 13:11, very important. You know that I didn't spend a lot of time on myself, but I don't do that. But word of knowledge, wealth not earned, but won in haste or unjustly from the production of things for vain, detrimental use. Such riches and wealth will dwindle away. But he who gathers little by little increases his wealth and riches. That's Bible. Now, and I'll say this, and I'll just say this, and then I'm not doing the horn, but I don't fake it till I make it.
Mm.
Come on, Pastor. You're preaching.
I don't teach you where I'm not been. That's hypocritical.
That's good, Pastor.
So I make sure if I'm going to tell you how to have every bill paid, I better have mine paid.
Preacher.
Drop mic.
I owe no man but to love him.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing do I owe right now. I'll just stop right there. So I'm trying to tell you, I'm not giving you something that I from presumption. I'm giving you something from experience. I know it works. When I walk in my house, I know it works.
Yes, sir.
When I go to my garage, I know it works.
Yes, sir.
When I go out to eat, I know it works. I wake up in the morning, look at my bank account, it works.
Yes, sir. Amen.
So I'm not giving you something that I heard on YouTube or social media. I'm living the life I preach about.
Yes, sir.
So
Amen.
So, sir, I can only teach you where I've been. So much time out for all these people trying to take you where they have no idea how to get there, to get likes and shares. Come on. Eventually, you're going to be found out.
Wow. That's good.
So if I can leave anything with you, I leave you this. Biblical principles are not without using to get biblical promises. We want the promises without the principles. Everything got to be now. Faster cars, faster computers, faster wealth, faster preaching. It takes time to build. It does not come overnight. If your money does not, if your money grows faster than your character, you're gonna lose it.
Say that again, Bishop.
If your money grows faster than your character, you're gonna lose it.
My,
Get,
my, my.
get three things first: character, morals, and integrity.
Yes, sir.
So that when your money gets funny, your attitude won't get funny.
Yes, sir. Whew, preacher, 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 preacher.
There must be a
Ooh.
foundation for this thing. I feel on the there must be a foundation. You can put another roof on. You can put another wall in.
Mm.
Put more carpet in. But when
On
that
the one
foundation,
foundation.
you got to condemn the whole thing. A lot of things in our theology is condemned because the foundation is wrong. And we blaming God. Haggai says, we got to get out of here. I'll stop that. We'll do that next time. But I'm trying to say, because
Oh my goodness.
there's so much
Hey,
here.
just because I had to locked in, man. I'm
I know
sorry.
it. I'm locked in too, Bishop. Look, we can get offline and we can have a Bible study for us because it's so good. And I just want to end by
Wow.
saying this, Bishop. Thank you so much for that knowledge because you dropped some. My page is full of notes. So now I feel like I need to go in here and pray because God, there's some more working on June I've got to do. But definitely, he said a mouthful. He said, I can only teach you where I've been.
Come on, man.
Back
Ooh.
to our business spotlight business today, Financially Free LLC. He
My.
can teach you from where he's been. I would say ask him when you get to his office. Well, you telling me you can help me get my credit score to 800. Let me see yours. And I guarantee you he'll pull it up and you will see an excellent credit score.
I can tell
That's
you,
how you know too
I can
that
tell
you
you,
have.
840.
I ain't ashamed.
What's that,
No,
Bishop?
Hmm?
What'd you say?
I'm not ashamed.
no, we do it all the time.
Yeah,
Right,
and I haven't
absolutely.
worked on it. I pulled it up the other day just to be curious. At 8:30.
Oh, that sounds like a great credit score. So when you're going, these are we're bringing to you reputable people that in their area, in their market. There may be some people that are in business that you're not quite in an 800 credit score, and that's okay too. But we're saying we're bringing you someone who is in the credit repair business. You don't have to guess. You don't have to go to his website and he's way out in Timbuktu and wonder is he really living the life that he's trying to teach to you. But he is that person that will be able to show you how to get to a great credit score because that's what he has for himself. And he's a person that makes sure that he takes care of his obligations and responsibilities and will teach you to do the same thing. Again, thank you so much, gentlemen. Leanna, thank you for your help in the back and to everyone who's working behind the scenes to make this broadcast happen. Leanna, if you would just pop on the screen one more time. Mr. Shannon Lee's website. We want everyone who's watching to share this video and to reach out to this wonderful man if you are in need in credit restoration services for yourself personally or for your business or business funding or any type of funding. I believe you can go see him and he'll be able to get you started on the right path and to make sure that you all be able to work together as a fit. And again, if you are in the Columbus area or abroad, please do make sure you tune in and listen to and be taught by none other than Bishop Norman Hartman on Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or
No,
11.
10 a.m. Central Standard Time.
10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm sorry, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. His church is located in Opelika, Alabama, Mount of Transfiguration. And you can also catch him on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
7 p.m. Yes, and 8 Eastern. Yes.
And 8 Eastern Time for his midweek teaching. You will be definitely empowered in that. I love you all. Thank you so much. You still have time to share. Leanna, we'll give them 10-15 more minutes to share, and then at 1:30 she will be declaring a winner. We will post it on our page so that you can stop by our boutique and pick up some of your items here. And my last pitch is if you need a great tax preparer, someone who's been in the business 22 years, and as you can see, a woman of integrity, and we're here doing the same things that we're teaching on this broadcast, please do come see us at Tax Pro. I love you all. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Thank you again, gentlemen. God bless. We'll see you all on next Wednesday at 12 noon.
Bless you.